Hey guys, thanks for whacking on that thumbnail. This weekend I saw Gods of Egypt, or as everybody is now calling it, the most whitewashed movie in the world, starring Gerard Butler. I've tried to say this guy's name 50 times and I can't do it, so there he is. It's the Jamie Lannister guy, and that's how you say his name. And then two other kids who probably should quit while they're ahead while they're in Hollywood. And guys, this is with the K review. I'm Victor, and I really have no funny quip before we go into my intro. I, nope, I don't.
With a K review. It's VIC?
No, it's with a K.
Oh.
So this is one of the more difficult movies that I'm going to try to review for you guys, only because movie has gone through so much controversy and so many little things that people have found wrong with it. And I can tell you this much, there is a lot of wrong things with this movie, okay? There's just a ton of things that are wrong with this movie. And let's start out with the good, the bad, and the wow. So when I first started to see trailers for this movie, I was actually really excited because I thought this was going to be a really fun CGI action movie, and that it was just going to kind of be one that I could go to and I could just turn off my brain to it. And when I went to go see this movie, I had two things that were affecting me during this movie. One, I was drunk. Two, I was really full on food, and that's going to come into play later in this review. So when this movie starts out, you have Horus, who's going to be given the kingdom by his father Osiris, and his brother Set, who's played by Gerard Butler. He wants to take the crown from him and rule with an iron fist. I was kind of wondering if this movie was going to be one of those things that kind of like just ran with it, like it was going to be a quick hour and a half, and like we were going to have all these little different things happen. It was going to be a fun ride, and it was, in a sense, but not really. I will explain this. One of the things that I thought was going to be really good with this movie was going to be the director, Alex Proyas. Now, this guy has done some incredible movies in the past. He directed The Crow, which is considered, be one of the best, grunge action movies ever, and I really enjoyed that movie. And then he also did I, Robot, and he's also done the movie Knowing, and he did one of my favorite movies called Dark City. This guy actually has a really good sense of how to direct and how to direct action and his characters and everything. And that's really not the case in this movie, because most of the action in this movie is done well. Like, I enjoyed seeing, the Transformer type of gods. Like, I'm serious, they actually looked like they transformed from the gods, and it was like Transformer, not that, well, kind of that. That is my favorite sound. But even in the trailers, I thought, what is this movie going to be? Because this guy has such a great grasp on things. So when I started watching it, I realized that this movie was almost good, and then it just slowly started to crap out on itself as it goes down, because there are so many actors in this movie that are awesome. Like, I love Gerard Butler. He's done a bunch of cool movies. I didn't even know that he was Leonidas until 2 years after I saw 300, because he looked so different from when he was in 300 and what he looks like now. And even the guy who plays Horus, I thought that guy was really good in this movie at times. He does some really good, interactions with the young kid in this movie who's trying to save his girlfriend from being dead in the afterlife. And that is one other thing. I'm going to go down a little sidetrack with this, because, the whole movie is based around, Horus trying to get his kingdom back from his brother Set. And there's the sub-story of, this little love story between these two guys who literally are MTV rejects. Imagine a crappy show on MTV. These two, those are from that crappy show on MTV. And it's kind of weird that this kid, Brenton Thwaites, he's been in a bunch of different other movies. He's in the independent movies The Signal, and I didn't get to see that one, but from what I heard, he did a really good job in that one. He was also in Maleficent. He was Prince Philip, and he's been in a couple of other things where he's actually done a really good job. Oh yeah, he was actually in The Giver too. He did a good job in that one. And in this movie, it's he has no chemistry with the girl. I don't even know the girl's name. Here's a hot picture of her, but I don't even know her name. She was in Mad Max Fury Road, and she was just one of those slave girls, but they have no connection with each other at all in the movie. There's one part where she is shot and killed, and I thought that his character was going to be not like that. But there's not. There's no there's no emotion really between them other than a crappy MTV type romance. And that's the one thing that really dragged the whole movie down, was those two and just about everything else in the movie. And it really was kind of disappointing, because this is a movie where like I wanted to be able to turn my brain off, watch a bunch of cool CGI. And there's one thing, like I want to mention one thing about the CGI. There was one point where Horace is walking in a river. This is my best way to interpret this, by the way. And you can see him walking, but not going forward. Like he is literally walking on a freaking treadmill. Like, and I just launched some spit, but you know what? He's just walking on the treadmill. There was even like really crappy pieces of dialogue. There were things that I didn't understand why they happened. There was like things with Gerard Butler's character. Like he had a wife that I never knew about in the movie, and he goes and like, you know, starts killing other gods because he wants to keep the throne for himself. And there's just no building or anticipation in the movie. And towards the end of the movie, I will confess this. One, like I said before, I was drunk and had eaten a lot. I fell asleep the last 15 minutes of this movie. I don't know how this movie ended. That's terrible. How can I call myself even a critic? I shouldn't call myself a critic. Oh, but that's the thing, is that I can't tell you guys to go see this movie. If you want to go see this movie because you really love CGI, please go see this movie. Give Gerard Butler his money, because he needs it to find a better role for this movie. I'm going to give Gods of Egypt a 1K rating only because that it had some pretty good CGI in it. Guys, don't go see this one in theaters. I would suggest that you not even rent this when it comes out on DVD and Blu-ray, but you know what? Wait for this one to come up on your streaming, and maybe late night cable on Fox right after Dr. Drew or something like that. And yeah, thanks guys for watching my review. I do appreciate all the viewers and subscribers. I do have 115 of you guys. That's pretty freaking awesome, you know, with a K clap right there. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But you know what, guys? Make sure you whack up here and whack right here if you want to subscribe to my channel. And yeah, never forget, if you don't like what you're watching, you can always turn it off. But thanks so much for coming back and seeing me. And there it is right there. See ya.